what's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode in my PrimeXBT leverage trading series. I'm excited to do another video before I get moved out to my new house. This might be the last one. So I really wanted to give you some alpha in this one, especially for day traders. And the topic is going to be one thing you need to do before entering a trade, or at least one thing that I do before entering a trade. I want to make sure you guys are aware of this. So we're going to get that in a minute. But I do want to give $100 away to one new subscriber. So if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. Comment down below with your Twitter handle, and I will reach out to a random winner on Twitter at the end of the week. All right, so please subscribe, put your Twitter handle down in the comments. I will give $100 away at the end of the week to one random new subscriber. So I appreciate you guys. Also, if you haven't used PrimeXBT, I appreciate them for sponsoring all this free content. I do use their exchange. There's good liquidity. I mostly trade Bitcoin on there, but they did add a lot of altcoin pairings as well. And right now, if you use my link to sign up, which it will be in the description below, you can get a $7,000 bonus to trade with. So make sure you check that out below. On my pinned tweet on Twitter, there's also a tutorial on how to sign up without VPN and all that stuff. So make sure you check that out. But anyway, let's get into the video. Let's get into the content because I'm excited to get rolling on this and share with you guys because I've never actually really made a video about this before. So the one thing you need to do before getting into a trade is make sure that there's room to run. Make sure that there's room for your trade to go. All right, what does that mean, right? Well, let me minimize myself here. You know, and after I do that, I really talk like this. I don't know why. It's like you got to go to the distance and it works again. Okay, that's enough. That's enough fun for right now. Okay. Oh shit. Okay. All right. Boom. You guys, there we go. Look at that. Now you can see my chart. I didn't pull one of those videos where I just talk with my face in front of the screen and try to show you guys a million things. I've done that on live stream a few times. So here is a Bitcoin chart, okay? And what I mean by needing room to run is I need some space between supports and resistances, all right? If I'm just low time frame trading, scalping, I'm mainly just looking at support and resistance levels, and I'm going from one support to the next, or the one support to resistance, right? So if I'm looking to long, I'm basically seeing a support level here, and again, this isn't levels on the chart, this is just me explaining this, and I'm looking at a resistance level here. All right, and I always color code them. It makes them easier for me to see visually and keep my emotions in check too, because if price is in a red area, I shouldn't be buying that. And if price is in a green area, I shouldn't be shorting it, okay? So basically, I need room to run. So if I see price at a support here and I'm considering a long, I need some room to run up here to resistance to close my position. Now, if resistance was all the way down here and price is right here, I don't have much room to run. That might not be a viable entry or a trade opportunity for me. And if you don't understand risk to reward, make sure you check that out. I have some videos. I can add a card here for that. But make sure you check out my videos on risk to reward because risk to reward is important. That's kind of what I'm talking about here, but it's a little bit more specific to actually visually seeing if there's room for your trades to run, okay? So this, I have a lot of room to run. I can let price go up, and you can see that this is a 7% move, right? But right here, I don't have much room to run. That's a 1% move. Maybe that's not enough for me to catch, especially if my risk to reward isn't there, because with this, my invalidation could be below here, which puts my risk to reward at 1%. So my risk is about 1%, my reward is about 1.5%, and to the bottom of this resistance area, it's about 1%. So that's not a good risk to reward. I'm not going to be able to want to take this trade. Now, if, like I said, I have room to run, now you could see how I've got a 5% reward, a 1% risk. That makes it more juicy. I can get stopped out of this trade multiple times and still make a profit. So letting it run, and you can see here, what I mean by that is basically I need volatility to enter a low time frame trade. So right now, all right, there's not really much room for me to take a trade because my most recent resistance is here, all right? And my next local support is here. You see this? So I've got a lot of support here. I use the Gunnar EMAs, which I really like. Okay, Gunnar EMA, that's a free script. You can use it. Just search it up in your indicators, and you can use that, all right? And then I use the 99 SMA. So these are important support and resistance levels. And you can see here, they're acting as a support here. So that's green. And they're acting, and then I've got a major resistance here. So that's red. So, and not only that, you guys, we're right in mid-range, all right? We're right in mid-range between both of these. I'm definitely not going to take a position at mid-range, all right? Because what could happen is you could go straight up from here. You could go down and bounce from here. You could go up, down. Like, there's no room for this to run for me right now. I can't take a position here. There's nothing I can do. I'm not going to force a trade. Now, this is a 1 hour chart. Could I go to a 1 minute chart and find some room to run? Maybe. Okay. Now, again, I trade 1 minute charts occasionally. It's not for everyone. And you can see here, I have a little bit more room to run. So let me delete this mid-range here. Now, it's a late entry. I can't take an entry now. But could I have taken an entry here? Well, let's see. So I'm at resistance. All right. So at resistance, I'm going to look for a potential short opportunity. All right. And where's my reward? Well, look at this. There's not really any support in here. There's not much. Right here's a support. Okay. Otherwise, there's really not much support below. So technically, I could have considered a position here. All right, if I got in up here at resistance, because, and again, this is only on a 5 minute chart. So I would be in and out rather quickly. But you can see here, we've got multiple rejections. So if I can find a setup here, maybe on these rejections, maybe on this bearish engulfing candle, you can see that I have about 0.7% to run. Depending on where I would be at, if I enter up here, it's about 1% run. And, my risk would be about 0.2%. I wouldn't want to see it go above these wicks. So I've got a little bit of room to run now. And the easiest way to visualize that, you guys, and this is probably the best tip I can give, or the best thing I could say is, the easiest way to visualize it is how far away are my Gunnar EMAs from the 99 SMA. If they're very tight, that means we're very choppy. That means there's a lot of support and resistance levels. I can't take a trade. If they're way below, all right, you see how this space here? There's a lot of space here. So maybe I look for a long and try to get that reversion back to that line or above. All right, now they're choppy. We're really choppy. Even here, there's a little room between, but not much air. I don't see much open air. I want to see big open spaces here to take a trade. I want to see some volatility. I want to see room for my trade to run. All right, and look at all this open air down here between, especially on this big drop, between my Gunnar EMAs and the 99 SMA. So I've got room to run now. I've got room to mean revert there and to have some of that mean reversion. So up here again, could I consider this? Yes, obviously I need to find a trade setup. This doesn't mean I can just automatically enter a trade because my EMAs are above my SMA, because this could just keep going up and up and up and up. And then my EMAs, so that would be price going up. And then you're going to see my EMAs start to go up as well. And my 99 SMA will slowly catch up. And you're going to see a huge gap there. And that's when I'm going to be able to, consider looking for a trade setup. And it works going down as well. So whatever time frame I'm on, I need to see a nice gap between my 99 SMA and my Gunnar EMAs for me to really get excited about a trade. All right, so up here, somewhere up here, you see all this air? So a big air gap here. I like that. I could look for a trade, and you could see as we fall down here, I would start to close that trade once we get close to this area. Now, we're going sideways. We're choppy. I don't have much room here. I can't really take a position here. The only thing I could do is consider longing at support down here, but I've got resistance very close above, so it makes it risky, it makes it choppy, and this is where I have to be careful and have to sit out. So I can't justify a 2-hour chart trade here on Bitcoin with everything so choppy. I could have over here when price was far away from my 99 SMA, right? Or here as price got farther away from my 99 SMA. But as price gets back to that, we start to get choppy in these areas at the 99 SMA. Do you see how every time we get close to this, we start to chop around, and it makes my trades not as, what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of the word right now. Not as exciting or not as fruitful, I guess is the word. Okay. Or desirable. That's a good word. So it makes it not as desirable of an entry. So I really like to find if Bitcoin's going sideways here and I don't have a large volatility gap or whatever you want to call it, I can go to a different asset. I could go to an ADA chart, a Cardano, or Matic, or I could go to Ethereum, or I can go to, a different altcoin or a different asset and see if there's some volatility that I can take advantage of on a trade. So anyway, you guys, hope that made some sense for you guys. Again, you want some room for your trades to run, because otherwise what's going to happen is as soon as you enter that position, it's going to go up. Like if I entered along here, it went up and now I'm at resistance and now it's stalling and it's barely in profit, right? And I'm like, do I get out? If I longed here and I'm like, do I get out? Is it going to keep going up? Is it going to drop at resistance, put me underwater, and then I'm going to close and then it's going to bounce? So I like room to run. If I got above this resistance, then you could see I would have some room to run up here, right? Which make it a little bit more desirable of an entry. But before every trade, I have to make sure that I have a desirable amount of room to run to make it worth me entering that trade. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that video. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Don't forget about that $100 giveaway mentioned at the beginning of the video. I always appreciate your retweets on Twitter as well. I'm really trying to grow my YouTube and get a lot more educational content for you guys for free, and I do have more coming out soon. So stay tuned, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.